Hello again, folks. This is Sula speaking, and you're listening to part 2 of a commentary video for League of Legends, this one featuring Nasus. In the last part of the previous video, we had recently taken Dragon, and then after that, I had gone back to buy. On this particular trip back, I was buying towards a Phage. You can see I have a Ruby Crystal and Longsword. In retrospect, that was probably the wrong buy. I think I would have been better served by using that buy to upgrade my Boots of Speed into Mercury Treads, but oh well. Just because I didn't have enough to get the Phage, and I could have completed Mercury Treads instead, so oh well. Overall though, this game is very close. You can see by the score, it's 6-5. There are actually no towers down anywhere on the map at the 25-minute mark, which is a little surprising, but it helps reflect the fact that the game has been very close throughout. In terms of the farming stats, here you can see our team's a little bit ahead in farming overall, in part because I've been in a side lane and I've been able to get a pretty high score. I've been getting pretty farmed up as Nasus. I've been getting pretty strong, so that's a good sign for our team long term. Nasus is very good long term. Kind of weak in the early game, but if he can get farmed up at the end of the game, he'll be very, very strong indeed. Anyway, at the moment, it looks like we are continuing to farm a little bit back and forth, getting ready for the next team fight to break out. You can see the fact that all the towers are still up on the map means that people can still lane back and forth. Now here, look, I'm going to come forward and I'm going to get in a Siphoning Strike, and did you see how much damage it did? With Sheen plus Siphoning Strike, it did 350 something to the tower. So that means that I would only need like 8 of those hits to take down the tower, something like that, which is a little nuts. Siphoning Strike is one of the few skills in the game that actually does scale with towers. Anyway, in the middle, Varus is getting ganked again by Deshawn and Shadow, and they're piling on all their stuns. Let's see, is he going to be able to make it out of here? It looks like yes, just barely going to be able to make it out. Again, the health bars are a little bit buggy because of this replay system. That they are working on that, but this is a version that still had that. Now in comes Seirun. He's going to engage here on Shadow. He's going to jump in with Warwick. However, this is a 2v1, so it may possibly have not been the best engage, and yeah, that's why that was probably a mistake. Not the best decision necessarily to jump into that 2v1. But in the top lane, while that was going on, Machi Balls was able to get a kill. So that was well done there. He was able to get a kill on Vendor's Ash. So we did end up going 1 for 1 there. But we probably could have gone 1 for 0 there if we'd played it a little bit better. Oh well, never hurts to be playing that aggressively. Warwick is a character you've got to play aggressively. And Vendor says, LOL, over-leveled hurt, so that's a reference to Machi Balls, who's 17, is he's been in a soul lane throughout the whole game, and that's one of the reasons why he has so much farm, and why he's so strong right now. Anyway, I am continuing to try to take down this tower, but look, I've stayed around too long. I end up taking like 3 tower shots, or I take another tower shot. I'm going to exhaust Toko Chicken, but it doesn't matter because he's popped his ultimate. And I'm even going to pop my ult, but I go down, and go down very needlessly. Here I can click on Death Recap, and look at this. Look how much damage was done by the tower. So really, the tower I would not have died if I hadn't stuck around so long. So that was just a silly mistake on my part. Should not have happened. And there, Machi picks off another kill on Shadow. Just so Machi is in really good shape. You can see 4-1. He has these Archangels, he has his Sorcerer's Shoes, ton of farm, 4 kills. He's in the best situation of anyone on our team. Of course, Deshawn Danny is also 500, but he's not in as good shape as Machi Balls just because of this. 78 minion kills compared to 182 is a big difference. That's a lot more minion kills for Machi, our Cassiopeia player. So that was enough to be a pretty big difference. And now Machi's going to finish off top tower too. So that's actually oh no, that wasn't the first tower to go down. They got our mid tower a little bit earlier, but now the towers have finally started falling, so that means that the game's going to open up a little bit. Over here, Seirun's going in to try to steal blue, but Vendor and Jajes and Mumu are both there, so they're going to shoo him away. Anyway, my last stat, as I said, really silly, just over-aggressive there, trying to get in a few more shots on the tower. I should have done what I was doing before, which was walk in, get in 1 hit on the tower with the Siphoning Strike, and then back out. But I didn't do that. I tried to get in like 2 or 3 hits, and you saw what happened. I took too much tower damage, and then Toko Chicken's Master Yi was able to pop his ultimate and burst me down there. Another thing I guess I'll mention here is Yi is sort of a bad matchup for Nasus. All of Nasus' skills are based around slowing. Oh, here we go. We've got a fight breaking out in mid, or looks like we were going to have a fight. I use my Wither on Ashe. That's the little purple thing around her. that shows that she was slowed, reduced her movement speed and attack speed by 35%. So that, I don't know if that saved Machi Balls, but it probably helped a little. Anyway, as I was saying, Yi is a little bit of a bad matchup for Nasus, just because Nasus is all about based around slowing his opponent. Wither slows, and you usually will want to take Exhaust with Nasus. Those both slow the opponent. He has no stuns though. Nothing that Nasus does stuns your opponent. Yi is extremely resistant to slows because of his Highlander. He can just pop that and then he won't be slowed. But Yi is really vulnerable to stuns, so Nasus doesn't have that, so a little bit of a bad matchup. Anyway, here, instead of pushing 5 on their middle tower, we decided we would go for Dragon instead and try to set up a Dragon fight. So you can see here they come. We know they're coming. They know that we're a Dragon. But we've already gotten the Dragon down almost close to finish, so we are just going to finish Dragon. And then we almost could have picked off Deshaun's Annie if Dansky had hit the Gragas barrel toss, but unfortunately he missed the toss, blew the Annie player back in the opposite direction. And so because we missed on that, we just decided we would sort of back off here. So we're going to back off here into the brush, and here they come towards us. This is not a good play. Dansky should not have tossed that barrel, should have waited for them to engage. Anyway, Jaje gets in a nice Amumu ult. He stuns almost all of us, but he is nonetheless going to go down quickly. I pop my ult. I'm focusing on Shadow. I actually don't get the kill on him, but we do manage to finish him off. However, while that was going on, our Dansky and Machi Balls were taken down. Varus was able to finish off Shadow. I think that was earlier. Oh yeah, these are just the death messages popping in. So let's see, we went 3 for 2, which is a nice exchange. Pretty good. Maybe it could have been a little bit better, but not bad. Now that tower's almost down. You can see there's my Spirit Fire. Toko Chicken comes a little far forward. We get in a stun on him. I think that Varus Nox's Aurelia got in the stun, and as soon as Yi is stunned, that's when you want to finish him off. As I said a minute ago, Yi, very resistant to slows. You can't slow master Yi, but if you stun him, he's extremely vulnerable to stuns. As soon as he's stunned, he can't get out, and you can just kill him really easily because he has very little survivability. He's all damage, no survivability. And Toko Chicken is not helped by taking Berserker's Greaves instead of a defensive item like Merc Treads or something. So here, we're attacking the tower, and there I get in a Siphoning Strike hit. If you see, my damage went from 78 to 334 on that Siphoning Strike. But now Jaje's Amumu has come in, and I am going to wither him in order to get out. And fortunately, we're able to dodge the Ash Arrow from Vendor, and Sarun and I are able to make our escape. But we did pretty good damage. You can see that tower's about 3/4 of the way done. The minions did take out our top tower while that was going on, but top was almost gone anyway. And now the game has really started to open up just because of all the towers starting to go down. All right. Anyway, so here we are, and I'm going. Oh, I guess I'm back to farming, bottom lane now. Did you notice that weird sort of moonwalk that Shadow is doing? Yeah, this replay does some weird stuff sometimes. Anyway, Varus and Shadow are laning back and forth here. I am in the bottom lane, and I'm farming my Siphoning Strike, and I know I'm safe to do this because of this ward here. That gives me safety. So our team doesn't want to engage, because if we engage with me in bottom lane, it would be a 4-on-5. That's a fight we don't want to do. I am just powering up my Siphoning Strike, almost up to 300 bonus damage, so 300 would be 100 minion kills with Siphoning Strike, and I'm getting close to that. So, I wouldn't say I'm under-leveled, but if I have a chance to free farm, it's a good chance to take it. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, our team is going to go in here and engage, so there's the ults back and forth. This is a bad fight. It's 4-on-5 because I'm not with the team. We should not be fighting this. We shouldn't be engaging this. So you can see how poorly it is. You can see how everybody's going down very quickly. Now Machi is able to get a kill on Shadow, which is well done. I'm finally here, and I'm getting into the fight late, and now I'm going to pop my ultimate and engage, but Judge is going to flash out of that. And now it's a 3-on-1, and this is a bad engage. I'm also doing the wrong thing, which is trying to walk out. This is really stupid because Ashe has frost arrows, and there's no way I'm going to be able to escape this. I should have just turned and fight. Instead, I walk away doing basically nothing and just get killed. So that was bad of the team to engage there. It was stupid to fight a 4-on-5. We shouldn't have fought that. But then secondly, when I got there, I either should have just not engaged at all. I mean, I didn't have to do that fight. I could have just pushed bottom lane, and that would have been a superior play, for example. Or if I was going to fight, once I committed to the fight, I should have just committed to the fight. That is, make sure I get at least 1 kill. I mean, a lot of them were low, and I probably could have got at least 1 kill there. But with Ashe in the fight, as long as Ashe is there, if Ashe has her frost arrows on you, look, you're not going to get away. She's going to kite you and slowly pick you off. So all that trying to run away just did nothing other than let Ashe slowly whittle me down. So nice play by Vendor. Mistake by me, just a misplay. Shouldn't have done that. What I really probably should have done was, when I saw that fight breaking out, I should have just pushed bottom lane, and I probably could have taken down that tower. That would have been a better play. Oh well, anyway, now I do have Merc Treads, and I finished my phage, so that means that every time I hit someone, I have a 25% chance to reduce their movement speed. You can see I'm building towards Trinity Force. I'm going for Trinity Force over a more defensive item because I feel like I'm already pretty tanky with 114 armor and 132 magic resist. So I feel like I can go for Trinity Force here, in part because my Siphoning Strike is doing a ton of damage, and I feel like getting more damage will be useful for the team. Oh, up here, Varus has managed to pick off Fender, so you can see he's going to finish that off, use the Aurelia ult, toss in those blades, going to pick off that, pick them off and win that fight. And I feel that it's more useful for my team because I've got so much Siphoning Strike damage to get Trinity Force, one more damage item, and then I can build more straight tank after that. Anyway, because we were able to pick off Fender's Ash, you can see 35 seconds will be down, we are going to force a Baron fight. Now, if they come after us, we're going to fight them 4v5, and we're pretty sure we can win that. If they don't come after us, we're going to take Baron. So this is just a good situation for us either way. And we have good map sight. You can see we've got wards in the area. So their team is coming to challenge us. You can see Baron's about halfway down. Now, as soon as they come in and commit, as soon as Dante hits that barrel, that's our signal. We're going to come in and engage. I'm going to pop my ult, use Wither, Spirit Fire. Let's see, I missed a little bit on the Spirit Fire. Should have been further along. So we're going to continue engaging. Look how much damage that Siphoning Strike's doing. Just doing a ton of damage. Now we're trying to finish off Shadow. You can see the Warwick Blood Scent has caught him, and Seirun fortunately manages to survive. So there we go. We go 4 for 1 there. So that's a really good fight. Went 4 for 1. Donsky got taken down. So that's why you force the Baron fights like this. I mean, if we don't go for Baron, they can all just huddle at a tower and just defend the tower. By forcing the Baron fight, we force them to either concede Baron or come out and engage us. And now, because Vender's Ash is the only one up, we basically have a free Baron here. The only thing that can take it would be an arrow steal, and that is not going to happen. Vender has no visibility. He would just be firing in the dark on an arrow steal, and he does not hit on that. So, as a result of that last fight, we've now gone from a game that was very, very even. I think it was 13-13 in kills. That one pick on Vender's Ash that Varus Nox was able to score a minute ago, that one pick enabled us to do the Baron fight, where we went 4 for 1, and then we turned that into an actual Baron. So this game has very quickly gone from being a very even battle into one where we have a pretty significant advantage. So we're going to try to now that we have Baron, we're going to try to use that to our advantage going forward. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, this is as important as Baron is. Oftentimes I find that people aren't even aware of what it actually does. Okay, so what Baron actually increases, you can see increased attack damage and ability power. So I have more attack damage and more ability power. How much, I'm not exactly sure, but I have more of both. The other thing it does is it gives you mana regen and health regen. So like, look right here, my health regen is 43 per 5 and my mana regen is 41 per 5. So, and believe me, I certainly don't have that much regen coming in from items. That's all due to, well, not all of it, but most of that is due to the Baron, giving me huge health and mana regen. So this is one reason why Baron works so well for pushing. While you're pushing or, say, sieging down an enemy tower, if you have Baron, you're going to be continuously regenerating health and mana very quickly. So that means that in a situation where you're trying to siege down a tower, your team will stay relatively strong, while the other team will be getting weakened over time as you both sort of poke at one another. So that's one reason why Baron is so helpful for pushes. I mean, you can see I've already got almost all my mana back. You can see how fast it's going up. It's almost like a mini blue buff. I mean, it doesn't give you as much as the blue buff, but it's close to that. In a way. So there we go. There's Spirit Fire. Now we are going to siege this tower. Donsky misses that barrel toss, unfortunately. Don't think he's played too much. Progress. I'd love to go in there and get in a Siphoning Strike. Again, my Siphoning Strikes will take off 400 life from that tower, so I only would need to hit it maybe like 3 or 4 times, and that tower would go down. But I have to get close enough to do it, and I have to make sure I'm safe, because again, if one of us gets picked in a fight, then we could be the subject of a quick turnaround, just like they had a minute ago. Yeah, 706 damage. I mean, granted that was a crit, but you can see how much damage that Siphoning Strike's doing. So anyway, we're sort of going back and forth here. I'm trying to use Spirit Fire to harass them. Donsky's using barrels to harass. We actually have a pretty good poke team here, between Spirit Fire, between Machi's Twin Fangs, between Donsky's barrels, and well, not really so much. I guess you could toss our ultimate blades, but not really the best use for them. So anyway, we have decent poke, we have Baron, so our health and mana regenning very quickly. And right here, Toko Chicken went forward to Alpha Strike, and that was the catalyst to start up this fight. They actually do a really good job with their ults. Jaje's Mumu ult into Annie's Timber's ult worked really well. but we just are too far ahead at this point with that pick, so we're able to score a bunch of kills. Now they used their ultimates correctly. Like I said, they chained them together really well, but the fact that we were able to pick off Toko Chicken and the fact that we had Baron enabled us to score an ace and go 5 for 1. So the Baron was just enough of a little edge to give us the edge in that fight. So now you can see me attacking. I was gonna tank the turret just for a second there. I've got enough life steal that I'll be able to get that back. You can see 464. Look how much damage that Siphoning Strike does. Again, very few abilities in this game that do extra damage to turrets. Usually you don't get bonus damage. Yeah, see 409, but Siphon Strike's one of them. Rammus's Tremors is another one. Those are about the only skills I can think of. There's probably one or two more, but not many. See, 161, 656. Again, you can see how quickly you take down that inhibitor. Now, they're still all down. Don't have quite enough time to try to break the Nexus turrets, but we can get this bottom tower on our way out. So we're going to go after this, and let's see, here we go, and there we go. I take it down with another Siphoning Strike there. So Siphoning Strikes, yeah, 309 minion kills, or 103 minion kills, 309 bonus damage. Then we're going to take the Golem on our way out, and that was a really successful push. You can see Baron's worn off, but we were able to get 3 towers out of it. We were able to score an ace of the other team, and now we're well ahead of the enemy team. You can see we've gone from a position where the game was close into one where we're pretty far ahead. I also did pick up 2 kills in that fight in the midst of the melee chaos. I don't know exactly who I killed. I'd have to go back and look at it, but 3-2-11, I'm pretty happy with where I am right now. Next, I'm going to buy towards a Guardian Angel. You can see I picked up the Cloth Armor and Chain Vest. Then I realized, hey, I'm actually really close. If I sell my Doran Shield, I can just pick up the Guardian Angel. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there we go. So now I have a Guardian Angel. That's going to take my resists to 182 and 174. So you can see, let's see, 65% reduced physical, 63% reduced magic. And of course, I have the passive that'll bring me back to life if I get killed. So in pretty good shape as far as all this goes. Pretty happy with that. Seirun's wandering around in the jungle. A little bit dangerous if he were to get picked off by the enemy team. But at the same time, he does have his Blood Scent. And up, there's a Mumu. You can see a Mumu's coming in here. And look at the positioning. We've got Deshawn and Jaje. I'm going to circle around here to cut off their avenue of retreat. They're going to kill Deshawn, and now I'm going to come in, Wither on a Mumu, Siphon Strike, and finish him off. So that's why I took the angle that I did. If I came around that way, it wouldn't have helped anything, but by going around this way, I could cut off their any avenue of retreat. So Wither on a Mumu, then followed by Siphoning Strike, and I get an assist for that kill as well. So that was a really nice play. We just caught the two of them a little bit out of position, and was able to score 2 kills, so now they'll be down, and we'll have 5-on-3 for the next 30 seconds or so, and that's going to allow us just to push into their base really easily. So there goes another turret. Next, I'm going to try to be in front. I'm very tanky by now, so I'm going to try to draw aggression as much as possible. You can see right there, I used Wither on Shadow. Ideally, I would put it on Ash, but Shadow is the one I could reach. Now again, look at me. I'm way in front of the enemy team. I'm getting them to blow all their skills, blow all their cooldowns on me instead of the rest of my team. That's what I want. Somehow I survived with 16 HP. I honestly thought I was going to die. I really thought my Guardian Angel was going to kick in there, but I got the whole team to focus on me, which is exactly what I wanted, because again, I'm really tanky. And Jaje even says, that's right, use everything on Guardian Angel Nasus, which I think is pretty funny. Anyway, I'm almost dead, so I'm going to play passively here. Donsky, great barrel to pick off Bender, otherwise he probably would have gotten back to the safety of his tower. Now I'm going to come forward and re-engage. I'm going to die here to Deshawn's Tiber's ultimate, but my Guardian Angel will bring me back to life. Machi gets picked off by the laser in the base, so, but anyway, this game is obviously finished. We're going to win here. Shadow's coming forward just to try to do whatever he can here in a last-ditch effort. Very brave. There's the exhaust. That's me. I throw exhaust on him to try to prevent him from getting away. And can we finish him off? Let's see. Varus's Irelia Blades, yes, are going to finish him off. So we score that one last kill as the game comes to a conclusion. So again, very fun game. It was extremely close right up until Varus was able to get the pick that allowed us to force the Baron fight. Alright, so here are the stats for the game. You can see I finished 3-2-15. That's a very solid Nasus game. I didn't need to get that many kills. I was happy with getting that many assists. And indeed, in the fights at the end, I was tanking pretty effectively for the rest of the team, especially as you saw at the end of the game. The two big killers on our team were Varus Nox and Machi Balls. Varus doing physical damage, Machi doing magic damage. So that's pretty much a perfect setup in terms of how we'd want things to go. Those are our two solo lanes. They were the ones who were able to get a ton of farm. And at the end of the game, we're able to be strong enough to pick up most of the kills. Seirun's 6-4 doesn't look that great, but I thought he did a very strong job jungling as Warwick. He was able to control the map very well. He was all over the place throughout the game, was able to just put a lot of pressure on the enemy team. Even if he wasn't as strong at the end of the game, that didn't matter because of all the early pressure he was able to put on. And although Donsky was 0-3, he did have 18 assists, so he was the assist king for this game, so well played there. As far as the other team goes, I thought Deshaun played very well. You could see he was able to clean up just a ton of kills, 9 kills against only 3 deaths. Very well done. The only thing I would say there was not that much farming. He didn't have that many minion kills throughout the game. You could see he was very underfarmed for someone who was in a solo lane for much of the game. So that would be the one thing to say there. I also thought that Jaje's Amumu was played very well, even though 1-7 looks really bad. During the laning phase, he was all over the map. He was also putting pressure on us. He was coming out of the woods over and over again and getting pressure, especially combining really well with Deshaun's Annie. So I thought that was well played, even if the numbers at the end didn't look all that great. As far as the rest of the team, Shadow unfortunately kind of lost top lane to Machi Balls, so he didn't end up with a good score as a result of that. So that was just a lane that didn't work out. Toko Chicken's Yi, I thought did a lot of damage, but had no survivability. He was a total glass cannon, so perhaps building a little bit more survivability would have been a good idea there. After you have he's got Bloodthirster and attack speed boots and Ghost Blade and another BF sword. That's great and all, but if you die in like 1 second, it's not going to be that helpful. And then Vender's Ashe. Vender got off some pretty good arrows from time to time, but unfortunately he just kind of fell behind in the game. I think fell a little bit behind in terms of leveling, and so that was partly why he ended up 2-6, and he shifted from the middle lane to the bottom lane. So I'm not sure if that helped or hurt, to be perfectly honest, but Deshaun seemed to do pretty well in the middle lane, so it's probably a good play. Anyway, overall, fun game. As I said in the first video, we actually did 5 different games on Tuesday night. This was the best of them. This was the closest of the 5 games. Some of them were kind of wrecked a little bit by disconnects and things like that. But this game was really fun. They were all fun games. This one was the most entertaining, the most fun. So again, we'll do this again next week on Tuesday night. Feel free to come out if you can. I'm going to try to download the updated version of the replay system, so hopefully we'll have some more interesting replays to comment on. If you have a replay you'd like to send me, I can now custom do and cast replays if you send them to me. So that's something to look at, particularly if you are someone who is involved in high-level play, is involved in high-level rank games. If you have a team of 5 that's in the ESL competition and you'd like me to be the caster for your team's games, I'm welcome to do that. Get your team a little more exposure, help me get a little more exposure as well, get more people knowing about this stuff that's going on. But the fact that we now have replays is something that's really going to open up League of Legends. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Thanks again for listening. If you like this, feel free to upvote, feel free to comment, and I'll read them. So again, take care, and I'll have more videos up again soon.